I'm Mr. Thompson. I teach philosophy and ethics at A-level at Newman College. I enjoy teaching the subject so much because everyone has opinions around the content that we're teaching. The big questions of life: why are we here? What's the meaning of life? And to have set time in the curriculum to discuss these questions, like during lockdown, like how should we care for people in our society? What should we prioritise? All those questions we look at specifically in the course, which I think is fantastic. You get an A-level out of it, the results have been brilliant in the last few years, and you're thinking about questions that have real practical implications. I think it's brilliant. Studying philosophy and ethics involves looking at a number of thinkers from the past, going back all the way to ancient Greece, looking at modern thinkers, looking at things they've said, and like issues that are happening in the world today, like drone strikes, or whether there should be more laws to protect the environment. Yeah, there's a range of different things. I think taking philosophy and ethics at Newman College is an amazing way to connect with the ethos of the school that goes back, thousands of years. This is a Christian college, but in a critical way, you're looking at a tradition and a way of living, but it's been able to ask those big questions in relation to it that you wouldn't necessarily have got to at GCSE, and in an environment where you've got believers of that tradition, you've got people who are not sure what they think and those who are against it, all having those debates together. It's a fantastic subject to teach because it's one where everyone gets to share their opinion, and they're debating matters of life and death quite literally. When talking about whether the afterlife exists, or talking about whether people who stockpile during COVID should go to prison. Like, these are issues people get really heated about, and it's great to think about how to make logical arguments and to listen to other people and learn different views from your own. So philosophy and ethics is a subject that the Russell Group universities love. It's one of the traditional subjects. Like 100 years ago, everyone who went to university studied philosophy as well, because it's teaching you how to think and how to argue. Those who've taken the subject end up in a variety of different places at university, so whether going on to do art foundation courses or doing philosophy and ethics itself, or subjects that are similar like theology or sociology. And I think that's why I've enjoyed teaching it so much, because it lends itself so well to different subjects you might study later. I think students have really benefited morally and personally from studying the course, and my experience has been students kind of thanking us as teachers at the end because they've had a chance to think about where do they buy their clothes from, where should they be vegetarians or not, rather not just going with what their families have said or what other people around them have said. It's a chance to think it through for themselves. I think it's a brilliant context to study these big questions because you're in an environment where views are allowed to be shared that maybe it would be difficult to share in public because we're looking at contentious topics, but an environment where we look at what is logical, what makes sense, and people have got the chance to ask questions of each other. So I think it's it's a safe space to talk about big issues that might often be very fraught talking about in other contexts. One of the things we really like about the A-level is that students learn to appreciate other sides of the argument that they might not agree with, and to be able to discuss issues in a far more balanced way than the original strong positions they might have held before the course.